Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, I don't know if you can see me or not, but basically I'm about to hang up my curtains and curtain track. So I have these basically self-adhesive no drill curtain tracks I got off Amazon, and I've used it for my previous flats and it worked pretty well. Basically, it came with double-sided tape on here, and you just put it on the ceiling or the wall. No, it should be on the ceiling, I think, yeah. And yeah, you can just buy the length you want, and it just connects basically with this connecting piece you slot in. Yeah, so this double-sided tape that it came with wasn't that strong. So I'm using command strips for this round. Basically, I'm putting the 3M command strips on the connected part so it can add extra strength between the two pieces. And I've made I have 6 of them, so it's like 160 something centimeters for my bedroom window here. And I'm just gonna stick them onto the ceiling. I think it should stick fairly well because 3M command strips are so strong. And then these little hooks attached to the curtains, and they just slot in like so. It's pretty easy. And yeah, I made it. So I measured and marked so that the track sticks out like around 18 centimeters away from the wall, just because I have my radiator and the shutters like jutting out of the wall. So like the curtains can kind of sit quite nicely in front. Well, fingers crossed. Yeah, so I made the track, the actual track there. This is just some leftover pieces, and I'm gonna try stick that on the ceiling now. Fingers crossed. I have to work in parts, like move along because it's quite long. But yeah, let's try do that. Okay, so I just finished hanging the curtains up. I think the command strips are strong enough. Knock on wood. I guess I'll see in the middle of the night if everything falls down or not. Yeah, so it works out really nicely. I think a tip with styling like curtains is to basically make it as long as possible. Like, don't start the tracks where the window actually is, because if you put it against to the end of the wall and like extend further where the window actually is, it gives the illusion that the window is bigger. So that's one tip on like styling curtains, especially if you have a smaller window. And another tip is to get as many like curtain sections as possible. So I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I only have 4 because my previous flat had bigger windows. So I could get away with just like two sections, but I feel like the more it just looks better. Another tip is to kind of like where your hooks on the curtains are, you want to place the hooks like lower on the curtains so that when you hang them, the curtains will kind of cover the actual tracks and you don't see the track as much, especially when it's like fully closed. I'll get a shot of that after this clip. But yeah, knock on wood that this doesn't drop at the middle of the night. Also, I don't actually need curtains here in this room because like no one can actually see from like outside basically. Well, like I'm not too concerned. Basically, outside of this window, my neighbors downstairs can see from their backyard, but you know, they're not like out there a lot. I think at least. Also over there is like a school or something. So it's not like there's another building directly across from me. So I don't actually need curtains, but it adds, you know, just softness to the space as well as what was I gonna say? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. You add softness to the space and it will come to me. What was I saying? Yeah, in terms of privacy, I don't need it. That's why, hence I got linen ones as well. I also got the shutters behind the actual curtain. So if I really need to shut the shutters for like to make everything black out, then that's fine. Or if I want to like block like total visibility from people. Also, I got lucky with these. So the heights just like it just floats above a little of the floor. I think my previous flat had slightly lower ceilings, so I'm very lucky with that. And yeah, this is my bedroom. I'm gonna do my living room next. I might do that on another day because I don't have everything with me. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Another tip is always, if you can, like mount the track on the ceiling and get like longer curtains instead of like mounting the track on the wall. Or if you are going to do it on the wall, make it high as possible. That just really makes the ceiling like seem taller, especially if your ceilings aren't that high. So yeah, anyways, I'm very happy with it. Oh, these curtains, by the way, are from H&M Home. They're just brown linen ones. I think the whole setup is quite affordable. The curtains I could have saved a bit money on if I wanted to. For example, I think my living room beige curtains are from IKEA, and these ones cost a little bit more. And the track itself, like, I think if you were to get like 3 meters, it's going to be £25. This is around 160 centimeters in length. So it might be, you know, slightly half that price. So it's really affordable. And then the most expensive part might be just the curtains or even the command strips, depending on how much you need. Hopefully I don't need any more command strips like re-sticking onto the actual ceiling. Also, if you remember from my previous moving in vlog, this black like shelf railing thing was from the big like clothing rail that was here. I just dismantled it so that only this part can be for this corner, and it works perfectly well for my plants as well as for like this corner. So I don't know what else I'm going to put down there. But that's very lucky of me to be able to utilize that stand. And then the other parts of it is just some top railings. I wonder if I can reuse that in another space. And then this part here was the base piece. So it has my hydrangea on, but I don't know if I want to keep it like this. I might just not use it and have my wooden stool for the hydrangea, because I don't know what else I'm gonna put here. I think when I remove the rest of my artwork and then push this against the wall, then I'll reassess it. But I'm glad that I can like dismantle it and make it 2 separate pieces. So yeah. Okay, update on this corner. I've changed the plants. I put my hydrangea there because it was up on this wardrobe, which looked really good. And I think, honestly, I prefer this plant over there because it's taller and like this might seem too bulky. But for the sake of keeping my hydrangea alive, this placement is better for it because it will get sunlight and fresh air. Well, up here we'll still get fresh air, but like not as much sunlight. And I would rather keep this this hydrangea alive over this plant. Also, what the hell is this? Oh my god, that looks like this biggest like skinny mosquito thing. Someone let me know what this is. I'm not from the UK, so yeah, I feel like I've never seen this in Australia. Australia has spiders rather than these skinny insects. Okay, so we are in my bedroom now and I'm about to stick my headboards on the wall. Basically, if you've seen my previous move out vlog, one of them, yeah, I made these DIY headboards myself with foam core and this suede fabric that I stapled onto with the command strips to stick them onto the wall. Super easy, super affordable, and yeah, so my previous flat had 5 panels of them, and because the bedroom was bigger in that flat, but now my bedroom is smaller, so I can only use 4 on the wall, which is not ideal, but it's fine, good enough. Yeah, and I'm just gonna use the command strips to stick them on the wall. I think I wanted that height, and yeah, it should be fairly straightforward, so let's do this. Alright, that's all done. It was so easy. Yeah, and it fits perfectly, the 4 panels. I think I measured the center of the bed and I just put the 2 panels from that point, and yeah, it fits just snug with the door basically, and the door frame ends here. And in terms of height, I think it's a good height as well. Like this just kind of pokes out from this bedside table and it's like high enough above the pillows, but not too high, I feel like. And this side obviously fits well too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the command strips will hold enough. And yeah, because previously I used blue tack, just blue tack in the flat before, but then that wasn't as strong, so then I just resorted to command strips. Yeah, I'm very happy with the outcome. Also, I'm not sure if I want to put artwork above the headboard. because my previous flat had two kind of simple art above it. But I think I might want to like let the room breathe or let this headboard speak for itself. It kind of depends on what artworks and prints I have left over from sticking them on the other rooms, and also just this wall here, which I want to stick up. And I feel like this is like a big enough like statement piece for the room that it might not need anything on the other wall. So yeah. Okay, so I'm about to hang these checkered art that I painted myself. It was super easy. If you see my TikToks from my previous flat of me painting them, it's basically just styrofoam from my packaging, I think from my furniture or something. And they were just like these massive pieces. I thought, oh, might as well like make something out of them, you know? So I just bought green paint, some masking tape, and made this checked pattern. Super easy, super affordable, and effective. The best thing is that it's super lightweight because it's styrofoam. So I'm hanging them just above my fireplace in my bedroom. I think I'm just going to use like double-sided packing tape for it. Because previously I used blue tack, but the blue tack wasn't sticking onto the styrofoam that well. So yeah, I'm going with just tape. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Okay, so I think it's hung up pretty well. Seems pretty sturdy. I guess I can just knock on wood. Doesn't fall down at the middle of the night. But thank God it's just styrofoam. Like honestly, making arts out of like packaging and rubbish quotes is just such a fun and sustainable way to be creative, because you know, when I move and I no longer want this, then I can just put it in the bin, and while it's not in the bin, it acts like art, and I'm not precious about like, you can probably see that the corners has been chipped off. I think it broke from, I don't know, just falling down or something. And then the paint, like some of the white paint parts isn't super clean, and like the fact that it's two pieces and like the middle line is not really lining up properly. You know what I call that? That's called art. Because art is subjective. Anyways, I'm really happy with how it turns out. It adds such a colorful and kind of statement to the bedroom. And yeah, I centered it. Basically, I measured the ledge of the fireplace, centered it with that measurement, and then the dimension here, I just got that to be the same as the height that is coming off from the ledge. So yeah. Okay, so my curtain tracks, new ones, came for my living room windows, and I've measured everything. Basically, I'm just going to use this double-sided tape that came with them. I know for my bedroom I used command strips. That's because this double-sided tape came off because I used those tracks for my previous flat and these are new. So I'm just going to use these ones and put these 3 bars along each window. That should be around 150 centimeters. So I measured the center of the window, and I'm also pushing it off from the wall around 18 centimeters to make space for the radiator and like when the shutters are open. And then to connect each piece is super easy. It's just this. Honestly, I should be a sponsor and ambassador for this curtain track because it's so good actually. Sorry, my dog's just being funny. Yeah, you put this in between. It's not like the best thing because it can move sometimes. But honestly, for what you're paying for, it's so cheap. So whatever. And also the sticky, like the double-sided tape part is also not the super strongest. But I have like lightweight linen curtains, so I'm going to see how that goes. It's a bit hard to slide in, so I'm not sure if I should do it here or while I'm up there. I might just slide it in quickly now. So that's that side. And basically, the hardest part, honestly, like in terms of using strength, the hardest part is pushing them against the ceiling with your arms because you're like reaching. After you leave it, you're like reaching, you know, you're doing this and pushing, which is honestly a workout. But yeah, I'm gonna also film this. Softy, my dog. Leave it. Sorry, I'm also gonna film this vertical for the sake of TikTok since I already did a landscape version for YouTube. So also a little tip, I think I mentioned this before, and this kind of depends on what kind of curtains you have, but if you want to hide the curtain tracks, basically if you want your curtains to cover it when it's on, you want to like, this is really tedious, it's like me being extra, but like you kind of want to pinch the top part. So you want to hook on like the bottom seam and the top seam, and then hook them together and then just put the part that goes onto the track wherever. So kind of, I don't know if you can see properly, but instead of putting it on just the one line, you just make it attach. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, that's a little tip if you want to hide the actual track when it's fully on. So yeah. So here's how it looks fully closed. As you can see, the gaps on the top are quite big. So yeah, I might get more hooks if it really annoys me. But at the same time, I don't think I'm gonna be closing them like fully like this a lot, because basically there's no neighbors across from me. It's just a park. So yeah, I don't need that much privacy. It just basically looks kind of ugly when it's like that. So yeah. Another tip is to, if you have the budget, buy as many curtains and add them as much as possible onto like one rail, because I obviously had the two sections for the one window. If the ideal scenario, I would have like 4 curtain sections for one window basically, which is what my previous window was. So it looks more fuller, and you won't have like this sparseness and like these gaps as well. Okay, so we are in my bathroom at the moment. As you can see, I already hung up these hooks with my towels on this side. And if you remember my mirror frame from my previous flat, I took off and kept, because when I viewed this flat, it had a similar size mirror, as you can see. And what are the chances when I tried to like test it out, it actually fits around the mirror like so closely, like nearly perfectly. So obviously I'm just gonna reuse this to add some more interest to this bathroom, even though it's already like nice, like it has like skylights and plants and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna again use command strips. At this point, 3M command strips should sponsor me. Like, guys, please. The amount of times I'm using them to hang things up in my flat is crazy, but it works. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit hard to try to get them exactly here. I should have done it the opposite way, like stick them onto this first and then push my mirror on, the frame on. But it is what it is now. So yeah, I'm just gonna peel the sticky parts off. I don't know if you can see me when I'm doing this, but I'll show you an after shot. Okay, as you can see, it's on the mirror and it fits perfectly. It even has like some overhang to cover some of my products like on top of the shelf. And it's like, so when I open the drawers, the shelf looks like that. And the other way. Yeah, I'm so happy with it. It's, in terms of like when I'm actually in front of the mirror, like it's either I'm too tall, which I'm not that tall, or the mirror is just super low because obviously this part is covering my head. But even without this, I have to like bend a little to see my face fully. So also a bit annoying that this bathroom is, well, the bathroom is like standard, like it's, you know, like all bathrooms in London are pretty tiny, but this bloody sink is tiny. It's like so hard to wash my face in the morning. I'm even thinking if I wanna like, because there's screws basically to hold this cabinet up, I wonder if I can like shift it higher a bit. But that's just being extra. Like honestly, it works fine, and yeah, I'm so happy with it. Okay, so I just finished unpacking and hanging all my clothes. Well, not all of them are hanging here. Basically, I left my really puffy winter jackets and coats in the luggage, and I'll just bring them out when winter comes. Thank God it's summer now. And all my trousers, shorts, some towels on the bottom here, and in the drawers has my socks, underwear, some more towels. I even have heaps of spare hangers, as you can see up there, so I'll probably will sell them or something. And I also got a bit worried because basically this luggage wasn't opening, and I know I had the correct code because I never change it for all my luggages. But I wasn't surprised as well because basically this cheap luggage I got from when I was in Poland because I needed just a extra one at the time. But luckily there's still, like, I can still lock it with a padlock. I just have to buy a padlock. But I use a hammer to kind of smash the part where you put your code because it wasn't like opening properly. But yeah, so that pretty much concludes all my packing, I think, for this flat. Thank God I am exhausted. Let me just change the camera. Yeah, so I'm pretty much done with all the packing in this new place, I think. Yeah, all the boxes are unpacked, all the big bags. I had random stuff in my luggages. I can finally wear something else other than this white tank top and like shorts, although I'm probably gonna still be wearing them because it's like, gonna be so hot this week. Yeah, I'm so tired from packing, cleaning for the past literally every day for nearly a week now. Actually over a week, yeah, 'cause I was just counting my move in, but I forgot that my move out was unpacking and cleaning as well. And yeah, am I missing something? Sorry, I'm just like exhausted. I can't think properly. Oh yeah, I'm not sure if I want to like better utilize my attic space because there's heaps of room, and you know I could put more like random stuff there. Like for example, I put a lot of random stuff above my wardrobe here that I could probably store in my attic. I have things under my bed, but because of my duvet, yeah, duvet is like a size bigger than the bed. Oh, my dog sees someone. 1 second. Yeah, I was saying my duvet is bigger than like one size bigger than my bed, which is a tip by the way for styling. For example, I have a king size bed and I would buy a super king duvet and duvet cover so it can kind of overhangs the bed, and in that sense it looks better, and you get more blankets. Also, if you're like hiding things under your bed, then that's a good way to cover it. Depends on your bed frame as well and like style you're going for. So yeah, I feel like I'm also like 90, like 98% finished with all the cleaning too. Like this place was so dirty. Basically, let me tell you the tea. It's not really that much of drama, but so the bathroom and kitchen and basically all the whole flat wasn't cleaned properly to a professional standard. Only the carpets, which is I guess kind of the most important anyways, but still like the rest of the flat should have been cleaned to a professional standard. Anyways, I took a bunch of photos of how like dirty it was and I sent them to the agents so they can keep on record. But I didn't really complain about it. Yeah, I didn't complain at all. I just didn't want to start the tendency like that. And I was gonna like do some cleaning anyways. And then they got back to me saying after the previous tenant left, it was clean or they did clean it or something. But because when contractors and viewings were happening, it got dirty. But I don't think it would have gotten that dirty. Like when I was cleaning the kitchen, there was still so much grease and stuff like that on the walls and stuff. And I'm thinking like contractors and people to come to view the flat wouldn't have like, you know, put grease on the kitchen walls and stuff like that, or so much like lime scale on the bathroom, in the bathroom shower and things like that. Like obviously if it was clean after the tenant left, then that should have been there because people wouldn't be like using the shower. You know, I get like dirt and things can be on the floor from people coming to work on the space and look at the space, but like lime scale and you know grease, things like that, or even like the windows should have been cleaned. Yeah, that's just me like ranting. I like now it's clean, so I'm fine with it. It was just tiring. So yeah, I'm glad all my clothes are up. Went on the tangent there.